Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're zooming in and focusing in on really better understanding the callousness, the insensitivity, the unfeeling nature of a psychopathic individual. And really, when we look at callous, the root word of that is really to be hard-skinned. It's coming from the Latin callus, meaning hard-skinned. And so it's like if you've ever had a wound and then it heals over and it's very sort of rough, abrasive, and it's a protective to the underlying raw or open skin underneath. You understand really on a physical level what callous means. Or if you've ever been a hard worker and you've had calloused hands or calloused feet, from being a gymnast or working with tools, you understand how a lot of that friction will build up a, callousness, and, it's a thickening, a toughening of your skin. And, to go through life, they say, you need to sometimes, toughen up or, have a thick skin. When we're talking about really this thick skin nature in a psychopath, we're talking about a true pathological insensitivity or unfeeling, insensitive nature, especially with a cruel disregard to others. So if you've ever had, really thick skin and, you could even put like a pin through it. Kids, I know, their skin gets really thick and they put a pin through it and they're walking around with like a safety pin because they don't feel it. And, they think it's funny and they go, look at this, I've got a pin in my, in my hand. So, but if you really look at the emotional level, with a psychopathic individual, they have no feeling, they have no regard for the hurt that they inflict on others. So for them, the emotional hurt that they inflict on others is kind of like a game, if not a source of entertainment that makes them laugh, giggle, think that they're superior to or better than others. The fact that they really do not flinch, they really do not hurt at massive damage that they inflict on others. To them, it becomes a sort of show. They begin to laugh and scoff that they have hurt others, even if it's lifelong damage, if it's physical damage, emotional damage. They've hurt you to the point that you can no longer have relationship with others. To a psychopath, they'll say, that person's life is ruined, and to them, it's sort of a game. It's a deliberate and calculated maneuver that they have made, and they're able to then suss out and kind of look at what is hurtful to others because of this psychological distance that they have based on their neurochemistry, their biological wiring. They are unfeeling in nature. They have no conscience. They have no empathy. Their brains are wired to not feel this way. And there is a lot of physiological data that is in support of this. And so when we have viewers who watch this and comment, then I'm going to change up my ways so I can better manipulate people. These people are, basically engaged with life in a way to understand how can they better manipulate and put a guise or a sort of facade. And you must realize that these individuals have a presentation of being normal. So they will walk into a family, a relationship, a business, a political game, if they're going to be as a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is that they're going to engage in, it's nothing but an actor. And when I say this with really grave seriousness. And so if you think, well, this person's a psychopath, I do not use the term lightly. And also I don't, I also, with the understanding that, you need to really understand, but get away from these people. And if it's a lot of work, if you're living with this person, then you have some work to do. You need to get away and you need to, disengage from them, because the cruelness, the callousness, and the insensitivity is not just, for you personally. It's how they engage with life. It's how this person is. They, as an interspecies predator, they prey upon others. So their reaction, their finances, their emotions, what they take from the relationship in terms of looking at and trying to observe others and see, oh, well, look how this person likes to hold hands. Something that is sentimental or naturally ingrained a part of you. The fact that you smile, that you light up, that you laugh, that you're helpful to them, that you're supportive of them, nurturing, that you give them time, that you're listening. The fact that you are sort of like drop everything and, you're charmed by them. They're basically, really, they're really in a very cryptic manner, stringing you along. And it's not just like, oh, they're playing with you. Oh, and a lot of people, if they don't know what this type of person engages, like, they think, oh, they're just having an affair on you, or they're just, playing you. They don't understand the depth of the psychological manipulation with which this pathology is engaging with. So, and it's, on a very deep level. And when I say deep, I mean, really severe. And oftentimes people have a very difficult time sort of emerging from the impact or effect of the manipulation, the brainwashing, and the gaslighting that they have been entangled in. And so it can disrupt your cognition, meaning it can disrupt your thought pattern. It can disrupt your emotion and your sort of meaning and your attention and your relationship with life as a whole, and really sort of disengage you from that sort of God source that is love, light, joy, bliss, the sort of positive experience of life. And those things can become it can feel very foreign, very distant, very much like, you will never be happy again. So, the manipulation can be so severe that people oftentimes feel like, that they're so unhappy, that they're so removed, that it's very scary. And so, realize that this is part of a psychopathic relationship, this sort of callousness, this insensitivity, this jaw-dropping, I can't believe this. So if you have experienced that, please realize that you need to give yourself a pat on the back, a big hug, and love yourself moving forward with everything you've got 100%, and really just sort of detach, because these people will have like an energetic suction on you, which will really take away a lot of what makes you you. Because that is what they're probably attracted to, your love of life, your spontaneity, your I want to say like your naive side, your vulnerable side, your ability to give so much time, affection, and love to this person. So you really need to stop on all levels. Time, attention, energy, whatever it is that you've been giving to them, you need to take a step back out and withdraw that from them immediately. Even if this is a family member, a spouse, a child, it is very unfortunate. And, maybe you didn't see this coming, and, this isn't what you signed up for in life, but it is the case. And so if you are in a relationship with just a real hardened person who is so cruel and insensitive to you, realize that is them, but that doesn't have to be the rest of your life. You can, you can begin to feel again, love again, trust again, and believe in yourself again, and engage with life with all the heart that you have. Just please do not give it to that person which has been cruel and sensitive and acts without remorse, regret, or lack of consciousness with you, who has strived to emotionally manipulate you, because it is like Grand Theft Auto. They will try to take your vehicle, your presence in life really at many levels. So if you've experienced that, just let them go and begin to give yourself a big hug, a pat on the back, have gratitude that you are who you are. You're a feeling, loving, kind, affectionate person. And, it's unfortunate, that this has happened. It happens to the best of people. And it's meant to, give you a life lesson that, there are these types of people, and you're the wiser, you're the better now for having understood this, and move forward immediately. Do not stall, do not procrastinate, do not doubt yourself. Get back into self-faith and really begin to resensitize yourself after experiencing such a cruel, insensitive, and callous, cold, really sort of empty, unsympathetic, unfeeling sort of individual. They don't have the ability. It is peace and harmony with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.